how do we start small, intentional, cooperative, spiritual community?
That is a class in itself.
That is a class in itself. How indeed? Well,
It starts with friendship.
there you go.
People are more important than things, and the more that you can build relationships and joy in God together as a sangha, then community is a natural adjunct from that. But it has to start with the people.
And I'll just add to that, community, we can think of it as a piece of land. I'll just digress here for a moment. We've made a number of trips to Russia to teach, obviously not recently, not in the last few years, in fact, but from 2013 to 2018 or so, we made 6 trips to Russia. And lovely devotees and kriya-bonds, and some of you have gotten to know them because they were involved in the Pune community and have come to India many times on pilgrimage themselves. Well, they want to start community in Russia. And were asking us, and repeatedly we were asked this question: how can we do it? How can we better serve and produce this, make this happen? And they wanted to get land, and we were saying, well, look at Italy, because the laws in Russia are very strange and not necessarily all that helpful for this sort of thing. And even in India, it's not so easy to have land that can be used in multiple different ways, for residential, for business, for school, for, it's challenging to do all of that sort of thing. And we said, look at Italy. They have created a marvelous spiritual community near Assisi, but it's not one piece of land. Yes, there is a focal point with the Temple of Light and the retreat facilities, but the people are scattered all around the area there, but they have developed a deep friendship and a deep sadhana together. And if you build on that basis, you have to spend time together, serious time together, and you have to do things together, not just having dinner together, although that's really helpful too. We often appreciated that the Noida Center was built on the cooking of one lady and the meals that they shared. I mean, yes, the sadhana and the meditation was important, but the meals afterwards were also really, really important. And so, yes, those things are nice and they're helpful. But if you start a business together and you work and you actually, and there's a real money involved in it, then you get a chance to learn, okay, this person is good at that, this person is learning this. You work together and commonly strive, then you find out, oh, we can do this. You get the confidence to feel like, okay, well, now we can take one more step. But if you just try to sort of create it, okay, here's a bunch of people, oh, let's just go and do it, they have to have that attunement with each other and with Master. And that is built over, I would say, years. It's not built over days or weeks. There are some little shortcuts to it, one of which we've alluded to already, but I'll share it again, which is if you make a singing group. We used to, when I did construction work many years ago, we worked mainly, our crew was mainly devotees. So our employees were mainly devotees. Occasionally there was somebody else who was sort of supportive but was not a serious devotee. And we needed that person, and so we worked together. But we primarily tried to have devotees. And one of the things, 2 things that we looked for in those devotees, we looked for, can they sing? It sounds kind of silly in the construction world. Can they sing well, and can they play sports well on a team? And because if both of those things were there, then it meant that there's a certain heart quality, and it meant that there was this ability to relate to, okay, it's not just about me. it's also about us, the team. What does the team need? And those two things were very helpful. So I say those from personal experience. Now, of course, not everyone can sing. Some people who are core in the Ananda community, who are very much at the center, they don't have very good voices. Okay, it's not actual singing voice that's so important, but the heart quality is extremely important. And the time spent in meditation, we really have to put in that time. We're about to reopen our chapel for morning sadhana. For 2 years, this pandemic has eliminated in-person meditations except in large spaces with masks and all that. And we're going to try to do that, reboot that again soon, but we've missed it. And for how many years, decades of our lives, we've had group sadhana almost every day, and it builds a powerful attunement and understanding that nothing else can replace. So those are a few thoughts. In the movie Finding Happiness, Swamiji concludes by saying, you can do it too, Get a few friends together, buy land in the country, spend weekends there. On one level, it is simple, but the spiritual foundation for it has to go deep. And, so those who are interested in that, pay your dues in sadhana and group sadhana preferably, but at least your own sadhana, for sure.
So I would just add the practical aspect of it, which God really did it, but we bought this retreat facility about an hour away from here, out of the city, in the woods, surrounded by trees. There's a river down below the property, so there's a magnificent view. And what we did was we just put out the call through our newsletter initially, just saying, Master urged people to pool their resources, find a place in the country where you can grow your own food and all of that, the quotations. So we put that out, and over about a year, people came forward and said, yes, I would like to be part of this. And so we formed a group of 10 investors, and we were able to buy the property outright, so there's no mortgage or anything. And I have to say, it's been just an incredible blessing to not own something individually, but to own it collectively, because every person brings something invaluable to the project. Dharmadas has been creating firewood for the wood stoves that are there. I've been decorating the interior. One of our friends has taken over cleaning and revamping the outside pool so that it's clean and functional and beautiful. And someone else is working on the gardens, and every person is doing something. And then not just the investors, but our whole Sangha has come up many, many times. We've just had it since the first of the year. We had the blessing ceremony in January, and we're already holding retreats there, largely because so many people are able to put energy into it, cleaning and raking and working on the land. So it's an incredible joy, but that's how we drew it, just by putting out the word. Are there people who want to do this? And God sent the people.